MagDog.com, and we're here in London with Naughty by Nature.
Arm me with harmony. Dave, drop a load on 'em.
You have returned, actually quite recently you were over here because you did the Indigo too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And we were at the show and the crowd response was amazing.
Wow.
I mean, I personally think you had the crowd more hyped than Q, even though I love Q. But the reaction, I haven't seen a crowd reaction like that in London for a long time. And I think because you brought the old school back, everyone just was like, oh my God, old school again. And it's just, it brought it back, but we've been missing for all these years. So how did you find it coming back to London and performing again?
Well, like we travel the world, and London is definitely one of the biggest hip hop culture keeping, graffiti, breakdancing, beatboxing, DJing. They don't never forget the culture. So when you come with the elements and everything, and you bring that whole type of party vibe. They don't want just you to stand there and do the record. They want performances. But you can be famous and they'll pull you right off the stage if they don't like you. So just the challenge of knowing that you really got to give that energy, which we do. But it's just when you feed off the energy, when you got such of a high level of energy coming from the crowd, it just makes you it'll electrify the whole spot.
When we started in the early 90s, the UK, in particular London, was a big market for us. So I guess in the past 10 years, we haven't been out here as much. So the hip-hop fan base, that concert-going fan base, haven't seen Naughty by Nature in over a decade, basically.
So do you have that worry though? I mean, I know you guys are still so hugely popular and you've managed to keep that longevity, but do you still have that worry before you get on stage thinking, are they going to like us or are we going to get big?
No. We do too many shows. I mean, we've never stopped touring since OPP. And prior to that, when we were in high school, it's the new style. It's like, if Naughty by Nature isn't good for anything, we're good for a live performance because that's what we brought up on, that's what we're trained to do. We can do that in our sleep.
And I can guarantee you that you can come to our show and not be a fan and leave partially a fan or maybe a full fan.
So what do you
can
think
come
it
in there
is?
totally not checking for us and be 17 years old.
So how do you think you've maintained that longevity then? Because even the new album now, which we've heard, you've still got that, you know, as soon as you hear the beat, you just want to like party and it's, how do you keep that?
Along with doing like 100 shows a year for 20 years, it just keeps you, even without new material out there, keeps your name out there. Even if the people haven't gone to the show personally, if we hit any market, the word gets around. And it's like you said, like we go as far as the show is concerned. We don't just do the classic. We want to test ourselves and test our new music. So we always do new music, you know. So we're not afraid to give that performance side and not afraid to go out there and do a song the crowd doesn't know and going to sing to. We have the energy and we know like the feeling of the crowd and we got our system of making music. So we make party orientated music.
See, a lot of groups from back in the day, they come over, they do maybe one or two shows, maybe just one on their own, and it's average. But you guys are going all out with the touring. I mean, you're going everywhere. I mean, you guys have been on the road how long now?
20 years.
Since you guys first came out, I mean, you were one of the first groups that's managed to succeed in the charts and still have that credibility on the street. If you had to kind of pick one of those accolades, what would it be?
Both, because then it don't limit to where you go. You can go to the down and out clubs and straight to the arenas. You know, black, white, there's no color barriers. We went to places we can't even pronounce. You know, we got them stamped on the passports, and it's just a beautiful thing because so many artists, we come back and gotta pipe ourselves down because we don't want to seem braggadocious, but they like, y'all was where?
So KG, you've been producing for years now. You also produced for loads of R&B acts back in the day. What kind of stuff are you working on at the moment, apart from your own stuff, obviously?
R&B.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what draws you to R&B? I mean, what's the difference when you produce R&B to
Grew
hip
up
hop?
on R&B. Grew up on it, love it, know it. It's close to home. You know, I tried, I dib and dab in different things, but, you always fall back to what you know. And R&B is what I know. And it spills over into, you know, like even if you look at the production style and like what we do as Naughty by Nature, you know, it's heavily R&B driven. And we're working on Jaheim's new album right now. Got a new group called Melissa Malone, which is the guy and the girl. Working on that. I got another group, young guys, little nasty young guys, called Elite.
Little nasty young
How
guy.
do you mean? How do you mean?
They're nasty. They're just
How are they nasty?
Like how I did Next when they had Too Close. Like they call that a nasty record. These guys are they're worse.
See, I think other stuff when you say that. So.
Yeah, that's
He
what we talking
means
about.
that. He means that. He means nasty as in young, horny little bastard.
So with the new album, Anthem Inc., can you just tell us a little bit about that for people that aren't aware that it's coming out?
Yeah, we kind of cheated on this one.
We did a little bit.
It's a collector's item. So we're gonna have like 6 songs, throwback classics, and then we're gonna have like 12 a regular album. So you basically getting a double album for the price of one with this one, definitely.
And can I
And when
ask?
he said like the classics, we re-recorded them.
Okay, so how are they different then?
Sonically, tighter production.
Yeah, like it's done, you know, with now, like the style of production being remixed and done now. Everything was done from scratch over again. The vocals are done all over again by them.
Took all the
Everything-
samples out,
Yeah, no
replayed
samples,
everything.
everything's replayed. But it sounds exactly the same.
The video for Flags kind of depressed me a little bit. It was sad.
Grow up behind bars, trying to be hard. Oh, and Father, can you swiffen my feet? Repping the wrong color on the wrong street. But no.
Who came up with that idea and where did that come from?
Well, it was 2 different versions that we had to it. K had came up with the track, and it was crazy. Like, soon as you heard it, like for me, certain songs, just the track or the hook that's on it, just write the songs. And it was basically self-explanatory because it's in the States, it's like gang banging on the East Coast is like spread like wildfire from the West Coast all across the country. So it was definitely something we seen in our neighborhoods and everything else, and wanted to touch on the issue. And we actually had 2 versions to it. We had a death version where it was like a retaliation thing at the end of the video, and we had a life version, which was actually a gang truce in the hood. So, you know, we show both sides, but through the lyrics of the kids that's out there now. So we had to give them something that spoke what they were feeling, but at the same time letting them know these are the options that's out there, and it's up to you as an individual to know its consequences and which path that you should take.
Because it's nice to see a kind of storytelling video again, which again takes it a little bit. It's got that old school feel to it, you know, like where the way TLC did Waterfalls, that same kind of gist. And it's a shame that a lot of acts today don't do that anymore. It's all about the, you know, the money and the, you know, just their pretty faces. And
Well,
stuff
we
like
always say the majority is the minority. So it's a lot more people out there that's poor than rich. So when you talk their story, they're going to cling on to it. And they're going to feel like you have music that's speaking for them.
And that was something we felt that, you know, we saw a lot of the videos out there, and we knew once that song Flags was finished, it lent itself to being a mini movie, you know. So we wanted to shoot it mini movie style, and, you know, just part of the overall mission moving forward is definitely to do more television and film production. So
Awesome.
with what we have with Flags, it is now in the works of being a full feature film.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
So when will we get to shoot that?
And we'll be working on that next year.
It's like we're big fans of Gang Style. When they used to come over, and Guru used to be huge over here and do the Jazz Cafe all the time. We just wanted to get a little your opinion on your memories of Gang Style and Guru, because his death kind of went very, you know, unsaid, and given who he was, and you guys from, you know, you live in New Jersey, which is where he was living, and did your paths ever cross, or what memories do you have?
Oh, man,
We
please.
prompt them. We give them props every night in our show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
First of all, Guru was so influential to us because when we were in high school and our group was called the New Style, Guru used to date a girl who went to our school called Tanya Humphrey. So when we used to, you know, just be in Jersey, we would see him with her, and we used to always run down on, you know, the artists who were already established. So we told him about us as the New Style. He saw us perform And he was the one who always was like, yo, those guys have something. And then when we surfaced and flipped everything to Naughty by Nature, he always remembered us from New Style. So we go way back with Guru.
That's
always.
awesome. Anyway, just to wrap it up, what can we expect from Naughty by Nature then? I guess towards the end of this year and next year, we're hopefully going to see a lot more of you.
Expect a nice killer album.
It's all about the music.
And the album will be out November 15th, so you ain't gotta wait for next year. The single is out now, Perfect Party featuring Joe, and the album will be out November 15th this year, so the wait is over. The wait is over.
Thank you very much for taking time out for us, and we're very happy that you're back on the scene. It's just exactly the same as that how you guys looked 20 years ago, and still with that same fan base.
Thank you.
So, and we hope to see you again soon.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.